and I'm talking specifically to everybody, but even the guys that are on the tools that are saying their job is their workout, that's why you still look the same.
Welcome to the Build Insite podcast. Real people, real insights. Step into the world of innovative construction, one conversation at a time.
Today's guest is Rusty from Purpose Fitness, a passionate footy fan, previous snowboard coach and fitness fanatic. Rusty founded Purpose Fitness 7 years ago with a mission to help busy individuals and entrepreneurs keep on top of their health and fitness.
All right, Rusty, my man. So obviously everyone's heard a little bit about you in the intro. I have had the pleasure of knowing you for, it's coming on 7 months now since I joined Purpose Fitness. Now this one, for the listeners, some people are probably thinking, what the hell are we doing talking about fitness, or why are we in a gym for the Build Insite podcast? For me, what I've learned from Rusty so far is he's huge on mindset, huge on personal well-being, nutrition, mental health, looking after yourself. And for me, that really resonates. And what I've learned from you so far is how much that can improve you individually to be able to perform as an elite business owner, builder, carpenter, whoever it is. So just bear with us. This will be a very relatable conversation. I think the coolest part is we're actually live here in Purpose Fitness in the gym. Thanks, Rusty, for taking the time out of your day.
Thanks, man.
Welcome to the Build Insite podcast.
Thank you, mate. Thanks for having me. Yeah, no, I think it's I think we draw a lot of parallels to what we do in this room to what you guys do on site. So I think it'll be good.
Definitely. Mate, so from, obviously, I've learned a bit about you over the past 7 months. Your journey is quite an interesting one as well. Obviously, you haven't always owned and run a gym. Lived overseas for a little while, passionate football player, snowboard coach at one point from what I heard.
Correct.
Give us, just give listeners a bit of context on who you are, where you come from.
I'll try and give you the shortened version, the highlights. Man. So I finished school and took a year to figure out what I wanted to do. I sort of got pushed out. It was like go to university and go do a human movement degree and become a physio or something like that, which I didn't really love the idea of, or pursue fitness, which I was in at the time and I was playing a decent level footy. So decided that's the way I wanted to go. Did my studies and became a coach and a trainer. So ran a couple of gyms here for about 3 years, tore my ACL playing footy, and then decided to take a year off to have a gap year because I just had never got one.
Yeah.
So I went overseas, like you said, went to Canada. Was only meant to be 6 months to a year, and about 9 years later, I just never came home.
9 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
And because I was always into coaching and training and trying to get the best out of myself, I did my Canadian level 1, 2, 3 snowboard coach. I'm an internationally qualified snowboard coach. So still had a passion for learning, still had a passion for training.
Yeah.
So did it for 3 years in Canada. Obviously, there's a lifestyle that goes with that as well. So I didn't stay down that long. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have been that healthy. Moved around a bunch, Costa Rica, Bali as a surf guide, and then ended up back in London, the UK.
Yeah.
And got back into the fitness industry there as a personal trainer again, ran my own business for a few years. Got picked up as a head coach of a CrossFit gym, ran that for a few years, and then a strength and conditioning gym for another 2 years on top. So I was there for about 5 years all up. And then I took 6 months to actually take a holiday, ended up back in London, and built another gym for a mate and realized, hey, if you, as you would know yourself, if you don't follow your own dreams, someone else will hire you to build theirs. And that's what I'd been doing.
Yep.
Everything that I was passionate about, everything I wanted to do, none of it was actually in London. Like if I wanted to surf, I had to go to Portugal. If I wanted to snowboard, I had to go to Europe. So London itself made great money in terms of the pound, but it wasn't where I wanted to be. Yep. So came home. I was very lucky though, because I did work in the centre of London. So I got to work with some elite sports stars, some movie stars, just like the top, I suppose, in all their fields, whether it be in business or trades or whatever. Everyone that was in that, London's like an epicenter of the world, right? So I was very privileged to be able to work with some great coaches, some great mentors, some athletes that I'd looked up to that just be passing through London. I get to train with them, and it was pretty cool. But then when I came home, the idea was to build Purpose, was to take everything that I'd accumulated, learnt in those 9 years that I was away plus, and build the place that didn't exist here in Adelaide. And that's where Purpose sort of came from.
Yeah. Did you envision that even before you went away, that long term you eventually wanted your own gym?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah. So funny enough, I got a conversation with a friend of mine in Canada in a bar when I was 22 saying, when I leave here, I will open up. One day I will have my own gym. And when the day I opened it, she messaged me and reminded me that I had that conversation with her and that it would happen. So I knew that's where I wanted to end up. It was still I was still passionate about fitness, hence why I wanted to learn.
Yep.
But it was just a matter of as and when it was. I even looked at, hey, would I do it in London? And I was like, I actually just don't want to be in London. That's why I came home.
Yep.
So
Yep. Why Purpose?
The name?
Yeah.
Funny enough, I didn't know how to explain it at the time. It was my one of my longtime coaches, senior coaches, Josh. We were sitting down having breakfast with our wives, and I said, like, I want, like, fitness to me had given me access to the world. Like, without fitness, I wouldn't have been able to go and do all those jobs I did. So I was a snowboard coach in the winter, but I was a zip line tour guide in the summer, and that was a very physical job. But like, if I'd not have been at the fitness level, I couldn't even have applied for that job. So I was very fortunate that it gave me access to so many other avenues. And I always believed that fitness wasn't regulated by the four walls that we do here. So you'll probably hear me say this a lot. I don't care how much weight you lift, how much weight you lose. It's what can you go and do with it. So purpose for me was like, what was the purpose beyond the gym? And so the two phrases we had when we started was to be fit outside the box, because obviously, if you guys can see, we're in a shed. We're in a box. So being fit outside the box is a bit of play on words. And the other thing was, like, if you find purpose, you'll never need motivation. Because you just do the thing, right? Because you love it. So that's really where it came from.
Yeah, epic. So good. I really want to get stuck into, there's an interesting story behind purpose as well, because once you started, we're going, is this your 7th year now?
Correct, 7 years,
yeah, nearly 7 years. Right before COVID times.
Yeah, so
early days
we were very lucky.
Yeah, so let's get into the early days of purpose, battling through that time.
Yeah, so I came back from being overseas and took a job as a PT first, just to before I could find a venue, right? In doing that, I thought, you know what? One of the other reasons I came back is I wanted to play footy again. So I came back, snapped my other knee. So now I've had 2 ACL reconstructions 10 years apart. And I signed the lease to this gym, and then 2 weeks later tore my ACL. And then so I was like bricking it, because I'd never run a brick and mortar business from scratch. And I was like, what am I going to do? To the point I almost pulled the plug. And I thought I was going to have to. And my coach at the time reminded me, like, Russ, you are like one of the greatest coaches I've ever met. Like,
as in business coach, or?
It was actually my footy coach.
Okay.
He's like, you're one of the greatest leaders, inspirational leaders we've ever seen. Like, you don't need a leg to be able to teach or coach. Like, you can still carry this. And I was like, and that's it. After that, I was like, all right, we're doing this, right? So just before that happened, we opened in September. I wasn't cleared to walk for 6 weeks. So I was only cleared to walk about 2 weeks before we opened the gym. So I was basically trying to sell a gym to a place that people had never seen, to a concept they knew nothing about, to a guy that couldn't walk or squat. Couldn't even teach you an air squat on day one. And so we survived that. We managed to open the gym with over sort of 60 members, which was nice for me just being on the phone. And then we opened in September.
Like to people you knew, or cold calls, or how did they?
Obviously, it would be people I didn't know. There would be a percentage of that because I was in the area. Most of it was just cold calls to the area. Like at the time, you could run a Facebook ad pretty cheaply, and people would opt in. And we launched our gym with a 16-week challenge, so we knew we had people for at least 4 months. So that was kind of a safety net for us. But we opened in September 2019, and then unfortunately had to close in like March 2020 because of whatever happened to everyone else. COVID hit. And I don't know, I think it was maybe 2 months all up that we were probably closed. It definitely wasn't the longest. I know Melbourne was severely hit.
Is that it, 2 months?
I think so. I was maybe a bit longer. So it was March we got closed, and we didn't open until the end of June, close to July. So what's that, April, May, June? 3 months. And even then we were on special duties. We couldn't open in the gym. So we were allowed to open, and we were allowed to train in the park. So we weren't allowed to be inside. So I still got footage of that. Well, we would take all our equipment. I'd load up my ute, and literally there's a park about 200 meters from here.
I just go around the corner.
Drive down there with the dumbbells. We were still running classes that we ran down there. And then we came back. We were very lucky because it did 2 things. One, it galvanized our community because everyone was in the same boat. I don't know if it would happen the same way today because everyone knows what to expect. But at the time, no one knew anything. So like, we literally got put in this spin of like, what does anybody do, right? That's why running is so big right now, because everyone just got into running because they couldn't do
anything else.
But we still ran, I still ran 3 sessions a day online. So people could come online and do a workout with me online. So I was like the fittest person in COVID because I would work out at 6 a.m., 9 a.m., 6 p.m., like every day. Started with body weight. We gave out all of our equipment to all of our members, like at least a piece or something each that they could work with. And we gave
As in they took this gear home.
Yep.
Wow.
And I wrote the workout, still wrote it as a periodized plan, as in how to get strong. And then it just depended on which implement you had. So if you had a barbell or a plate, you did that style of movement. If you had a dumbbell, you did that. Whatever. So it was like, this is the movement pattern you'll do with whatever you've got. If you've got nothing, there's a bodyweight version as well. So it just meant it was accessible to everyone. And it was my first experience with online coaching. as it would have been for a lot of people, because we didn't have a choice. Like I literally had to coach you through a screen and then communicate in between. So halfway through, probably about a month in, we realized this is going to go a bit longer than we think it would.
Sure.
So I started just a 6-week challenge online to keep people active, and we put them in teams. So you would know from training here, and as you can tell, I'm a sports person, very big on community and teams and stuff like that, as you are in the building industry, right? So we butted everyone up online. So they still went in the same room. They were like, you're in your house, I'm in my house, and we've got 3 other people in our house. And each week they had a task of like somebody in your team had to cook a recipe that you guys agreed on.
Yeah.
Somebody else had to, display, do a new habit or something like that. And then you had to come up with an extra workout by yourself. And on Saturday, we still did our game day workout.
Yeah, right.
So we still brought everyone together, and their scores came together as a community.
Yeah.
Your team had a score on the weekend, and then over 6 weeks, we saw who won over 6 weeks.
Wow.
And conveniently, when it finished, about a week later, the COVID restrictions were lifted, and we're allowed outside.
And you go out.
But it just happened to work out that way. I couldn't have planned that.
Yeah.
But that's probably what kept us going.
Yeah.
Was that fact that we brought the community together for a challenge on.
Yeah.
So.
For over 130 years, Bowen's has been the builder's choice, providing a service that provides timber, hardware and innovative building products.
And now we're helping you further with this wonderful partnership.
We're proud to announce Bowen's as our new premier sponsor, bringing you more of the insights that you love. Build Insight, together with Bowen's.
Real people,
Real insights.
Is there? I'm really curious. Like anything you learnt in particular, like training online versus in the gym?
Yeah, I've learned a lot because I've been an online coach since then. Like I said, I lived overseas. As soon as I opened my gym, people knew that, and they were like, "Oh, hey, can you help me? Hey, I've got this thing.
Yeah.
I'm doing a high rocks. I'm starting a marathon training. I'm training for soccer or whatever, like football they call over there." So, I've been an online coach probably since I got back, but definitely since COVID. The thing that I found is that if you're very clear with your communication and you have a very clear plan,
Yep.
and good structure, people really, that's what they need. They need a structure, they need communication and accountability. And that's the same in or out of the gym. They find that the people that do it online, because they don't see, they almost do it better.
Yeah, okay.
Because they know that next time you communicate with them, you're going to ask them how they did.
Yep.
And they feel like bad if they didn't. If you don't come in tomorrow, but I'll see you the day after, you're kind of like, oh, I'll see him tomorrow.
Yeah.
But if they don't do it online, and I'm like, hey, what's going on?
It's really the only opportunity.
Yeah, they just know you're looking at them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I think that was the biggest thing I learned. Like communication, be very clear with what's expectations. Accountability, as long as someone's keeping you accountable. And then, that's probably the 2 biggest things.
Yeah. Anything in particular through that period? Obviously, that is like just listening to it. The first word that comes to mind is resilience, like just pushing through. Even I suppose what you mentioned about starting the gym, how you couldn't even walk and all that sort of stuff. And it's nice to hear that you have people supporting you, like your coach telling you to carry on anyway. But anything, I guess, as far as the business side of it that you learned that has really helped you now, like through that period as well?
Yeah, and that's a word that kind of gets thrown around a lot, resilience, but without tooting my own horn, it's probably the biggest thing that we had to lean on for that whole period. And I think for anyone that was in business at that time, pretty much once COVID came back online, I reckon 50% of the gyms in our area shut down.
Yeah.
Because they just saw an outward like, oh, okay, my lease is up in a couple of months and we've been closed for X amount with no income.
Yep.
We're out, and they just closed. So from a business point of view, I think, like you just have to make it work. You got to have that bit of grit about you to be a business owner or an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I think anyone you ask in that space, regardless of whether COVID affected them, that's just that's a trait they all would have, including yourself. I think through that period, like, again, being able to communicate to our members and still execute a product to fulfill their needs, but having the grit to just be like, we're not going backwards. Like I was never, like I could have quit when I came back. There was an opportunity to close up shop, and because our lease could have ended at a year.
Yep.
And I was like, there's no way I'm shutting my gym.
Yep.
So
Yep. Well done.
Thanks.
I didn't actually put it in my notes to get right into more of your business specifics, but knowing you for long enough now and seeing some of the stuff that you post on your social media as well, like what is very relatable regardless of what industry you're in, business is business. You've got people to manage, you've got systems and processes that you need to stick by, or you should build and run to help run your business. Is there, what do you do in particular as far as, I know you utilize AI a little bit, you're big on social media, which we really try and get all the builders to get out there and get their phone in front of them and at least tell people what they're doing.
100%.
Anything in particular you want to share?
Look, I'll be honest, you kind of mentioned AI then. It's a kind of a dangerous word right now with that because in our industry, it's pretty scary with online coaches because you could be an AI online coach. Anyone can type into ChatGPT, give me a program, and then turn around and charge someone money, and no one's going to ask you for your qualifications.
Sure.
So it's a very dangerous space at the minute, and the brands that work, the ones that get attention and the ones that will break through and survive is all based on trust now because already people that see you online they already lowered the trust factor.
Yep.
The fact that I have a brick and mortar business and I can physically show people actually getting results, it already sets me apart online because I can physically show you people in this space that are getting results, right? People like them. The second part of it is I have a face. And if we don't show it on that, there's no trust. There's a lot of brands that are faceless.
Yep.
A lot more of the commercial ones will show their gym, but they don't really have a person that was behind them. And that's what sets us apart. It's because like I'm an owner operator, I'm a one of one sort of space, right? So if people see me, there's a lot of trust in me and my face. So therefore that people would want to do business with me. And I imagine it'd be the same in the building space.
I think you've kind of made that decision to target, like, exactly what your avatar is. You want people like myself, busy business owners and people that have got a really busy life schedule that they want to be able to go look after themselves, go to the gym for an hour and just basically be told what to do. I want to get fit. I want to stay strong. I want to look after myself, but I don't want to have to think about what the hell I'm going to do.
Yeah. Exactly.
You've definitely nailed that. As well as, I know there was one video that you shared, you're really big on not just keeping everything inside yourself as well, like making sure that you're training your team. I know we've spoken a little bit about, you've mentioned you've got regular staff meetings. You were doing a few weeks ago, I think you had like a training session with all of your
part of that. So we run a weekly meeting. The first part of it is a staff meeting. We go over numbers and events and any scheduling stuff that might happen in our business. And the rest of it is trainer development.
Yep.
I think the story you're referring to is like, if you build the team will build the business.
Exactly.
And that's what I truly believe. I've been very blessed up until now that I had the very same staff members. A few things have changed over the years, but I strongly believe that if you build your staff and like, put it this way, if you're the best tools tradesman, if I'm the best trade person, if I'm the best coach, then we've got a problem because then the business can only be run by me and I can never step out of it. So if I don't train my coaches to the same level or higher than what I'm doing, then my business would be doomed. Or it'd be like, it's going to be what it is. So for me, I think investing in them only helps me more because I'll have a business for a lot longer if they're doing a better job.
Yep, definitely. All right, let's segue now into the why fitness matters. It's a bit more of the personal mental health side of it to try and, because I know, like, personally for me, so go back 7 months ago, I'd never even been to a gym.
Yeah.
Like, which is just wild, ridiculous when people
look at him now.
To believe.
Look at him now.
Anyway.
It's not AI.
Basically, when you got me with your marketing too, by the way, it was you were advertising one of your 6-week programs and you'd suckered me in.
Got him.
But it was kind of, for me personally, at that point in my life, I was so completely burnt out. I knew something needed to change, but I didn't know what. Came across you. I'd gone from like a little bit of mountain biking and stuff like that was kind of my out, a little bit of fishing, but I was trying to found that, I don't know why, for some reason I was using excuses and I wasn't going and doing that. So for me, I was getting really burnt out. I had nothing outside of work to look after me. So when I found this place, I guess I kind of feel like I found my purpose as well, what I've used from it. I didn't think I'd ever get to the point where I'd be training 5 to 6 days a week, but it's really the one thing that besides obviously going home and seeing my wife and my dogs, it's the one thing that I look forward to just about every day is to go and unwind at the end of the day, use this space like a lot of other members do as their mental health outlet and look after himself. You're a huge advocate for it. I know we had, was it back in, when was it, 24 hours?
October.
That was a huge thing for me. Every year you do 24 hours for a purpose, which I'll let you talk a bit more about that, but it's basically, in a nutshell, locked in the gym for 24 hours, doing workouts, sleeping here as a crew, whatever, raising money for, or raising awareness and money for charity. Give us some insights onto, look, where does the passion come from you? Yeah. And obviously, the other members that portray a lot of stuff onto you as well. Let's get into the mental health space.
Yeah, well, I think even the reason why I started in fitness, like we talked way back when, was like I was always I've always been fit. It's always been part of my life. I played sport, etc. Then when I got to a certain level, I got access to some really amazing coaches. Like I said, I played a decent level of footy, and I got access to some amazing people.
Yep.
Premiership, AFL coaches now and stuff that have gone on to do way more things. So I was very, very privileged as a youngster.
Yeah.
And I always wanted to be able to pay that forward. Do you know what I mean? I would always help my friends out. I would always help my team out, and I wanted people to come on the journey with me because I knew, similar to like I said about my staff, like if I got people to do what I was doing, that was just going to be better for them. Do you know what I mean? So I always had this urge to sort of help, and that's probably why I got in the space in the first place.
Yeah.
And then to sort of bring that to where we are now, like with the mental health side of things, like you said, most people, I mean, there's not a single person that doesn't have, like, not mental health, but like
some form of.
Yeah, there's that conversation. Like everyone's dealing with something that you know nothing about.
Yeah.
Right. And that's everyone, like regardless of how big or small or how they show, whether they admit it or not. There's generally everyone's got something going on. Having a space like this, like you said, a dedicated space is what allows them, we call it like the third space, right? You've got home, you got work, and then you got that other thing that you do that's just for you. And not everyone has that. They have home and work, and then they call the other thing their family, which is still kind of work.
Yeah.
So like as much as, and don't get me wrong, I love my family as well.
No,
but
I know what you mean.
do you know what I mean? Just having that time for you.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? Like you mentioned mountain, I'm the same. Like I like mountain biking, I like surfing when I get the opportunity to do them as well. But the gym is something that you can go into, like you said, most days to fixed time, especially in this space, because ours is a fixed time slot with a coach and a structured program you mentored before. So you roll in and you don't have to think. Then you're also surrounded by a community that's going to get you up and about, and ours is performance driven. So it becomes a skill acquisition that you actually love getting better. So there's a lot of things that it ticks in an environment like this. But if we just draw it back to bare bones, physically doing something for yourself that's not work and that's not from your family, allows you to just relax. You know what I mean? Relax the mind. It's train the body and calm the mind. That's what you're trying to do. So that's the message I'm trying to get out.
Yeah.
We are absolutely thrilled to announce that Circus Studio are coming on board as a major sponsor and supporter of Build Insite. Circus Studio is Australia's leading interior design centre. If you're an architect, building designer, interior designer, builder, or just looking to build your dream home, you need to make a time and come in and check out the space here in Port Melbourne. This space holds every element that you'll possibly need to design your dream home.
Do you want me to talk about the event or?
Yeah, give us some insight on the event.
So we got started with the event. So the event is 24 hours for a purpose. And the idea was, like a member at the time, Miles Lindbergh, asked, but he said he wanted to do something for mental health. He's in the Air Force. It's in a lot of veterans. A lot of people struggle with it. We'd seen it in the gym. And I probably didn't realize the impact until we ran that first event. Can I tell you a little story?
Yeah, of course you can.
So when we first opened the gym, we had a basketball ring that used to sit behind me. And if you were late, for every minute you were late, you had to do 10 burpees. And I didn't want anyone to do burpees. I just didn't want anyone to be late because I just wanted to start on time.
Yeah.
So if you were like 5 minutes late, you had like 50 burpees and everyone's like, oh, that sucks.
There would be a lot of members that'd be in big strife if that was still going now.
So we had the
Me
basketball
included.
ring. So we had the basketball ring. And the idea was you get here late. Hey, Luke, mate, you're late. What's going on here, bro? Come on. We started 3 minutes ago. You got 30 burpees. You're like, oh, I'm like, look, throw in the basketball or you can shoot for it. And the idea was if you got it in, no burpees.
Really?
If you missed, double or nothing. So it went from 30 to 60. And of course, the entire room are like, shoot.
So you got to choose though, whether you shot or not?
Yeah. If you didn't, you just walked over and started doing it.
Yeah.
Anyway, because we did this we opened in September, we ran this in October, so we didn't run this for very long, but I didn't realize the impact of what it would cause. And if you think about someone's like, come from work, come off the job site or from the office or whatever, they've had a fucking shit day. Sorry, am I last one?
Yeah, of course. Yep.
They've had a shit day. The reason why they're late is because their boss like, hey, can I have a minute? And they want to speak to them after work for something that had nothing to do with them that they don't even care about and they just want to go home.
Yep.
Then they roll into the gym 2 minutes, 3 minutes later and I'm like, you got burpees. And they're like, you're fucking kidding me. So they just would drive past the gym. They just keep going. Like if they were more than 5 minutes late, they're just like, I'll go to the next class or they wouldn't come.
Yeah.
And it wasn't worth it, right? And I didn't really understand the impact because it wasn't like I was trying to punish anyone.
Yeah.
I just didn't want people to be late.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
really that thing. I just wanted to start on time. So we scrapped that pretty quickly, and then we started this event, and we realized like how important this space is to people of every level, every job, every
Absolutely.
occupation,
Yeah.
that it was their it's their third place. And they genuinely believe that this is their community and this is their thing where they get to go and do for themselves. So 24 Hours Purpose started off the back of that. Quite a few, which I didn't realize. We do it for Are You Okay? We do the same workout every 3 hours for 24 hours. So it's 8 rounds of it. And that was to represent the 8 people we lost every day to suicide. And we're basically losing 8 people a day. That was the average stats that we had at the time. This was pre-COVID. So the stats probably have gone up a little bit since then. We built a workout that was also required from the statistics that we had at the time. And then we raised money for it. And the first year we did, I think we raised like something like $14,000. Like, it was huge. The people that were in it, there was quite a few people that actually were in it that were directly one step away from someone, unfortunately, who had committed suicide. So I think it was a cause that really hit home with a lot of people. But it just made you realize how important it was. And then in that time, you asked me before, how much do I take on from other members? And as a coach, I'm in no way a therapist in any way.
Yeah.
But quite often I act as a listing board or a mediator.
I just want to touch on that. I want to share this story because there's, as a business owner and things you go through, it's like how important it is to speak to people. I'll be quite honest, and I tell a lot of people, I see a counsellor every now and then as well. You need that mental tune up. The last session that I actually had with him, we were talking about you. I was kind of like, there's a lot of stuff that I've been going through lately that I feel like I've almost got another counsellor, like just talking to you about it. Like just being here, and you've kind of got that outlet, and being this place, this space where people come for that outlet, there would be a lot of shit that would get thrown onto you.
100%. Yeah. When we have over 100 members here that I would probably know most of their, know all their backstories in some capacity.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do take a bit of that on, and that does, and that's why this place means so much to me as much as it does to you guys, because I have a vested interest in every single one of the members here, not just for them to pay me money, but for them to actually get healthy,
get results,
but that
impact their life.
Yeah, like you just mentioned though, that's the reason why I have a coach, because otherwise I have no one to talk to. Do you know what I mean? So, and anyone that's in this space that's an entrepreneur or running a business and doesn't have a business coach or someone that they can speak to in any capacity, you're only hurting yourself.
Worth every single dollar you pay for, every cent. Yeah.
And that's what I say about this place too. And even if you're not in a space like this, if you've got a coach or someone you get access to, that's why I have an online business, because it works the same. I probably almost am more, in a way, sometimes closer to them because we probably chat more via text. Do you know what I mean? Because we don't see each other.
Yep.
But that's another reason why I still run that business, because it goes beyond just the physical.
Yep. I'm just circling back to no, that's fine. The numbers for the workout. Where was you were getting into the statistics?
Yeah, so I can't remember the exact stats at the time that we ran, because we've changed the workout a couple of times.
What was the 42? The 42 was related to...
42 was the percentage of people that suffer with mental health in Australia.
Yep.
It was, I think that's right. I think it was 42%. Or it was either that or the number might have been 42% of someone that's been affected by someone that's had committed suicide.
Yep.
Or some step to that. I have to look the numbers up. That's why I didn't want to quote.
No, that's fine. And then it was the 1.6 Ks was something to do with, it was a mile.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So that was pretty real. So basically now you do a mile on the rower. The workout is that you did 42 squats, 42 sit-ups, 42 push-ups. You did a 1.6K a mile on the rower, on the bike, and a 1.6K run. So on. And the idea was you never know what someone's going through until you walked a mile in their shoes. Yep. So that's saying, and that's where that kind of came, because you just, like I said, people are fighting a battle you know nothing about, and until you're in that position, you don't know what they went through to get to that. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that was where that came from.
And it's every 3 hours.
Every 3 hours.
It was torture.
Yeah, the whole point, it was the other part of that was the reason why, because the people have done other ones before where you can come in and out of the gym and go home and what have you. But the point was you can't escape mental health, those kind of people that those levels that people get to. And so I was like, well, if you can't escape mental health, at all, you can't escape me for 24 hours. So deal with that.
That was I'm glad I did it. I think when we first finished, I was like, this is the hardest thing I've ever fucking done. I'm never doing this again.
Yeah.
But moving forward now, a few months on, I'm in again this year.
Yeah, boy.
That's good.
You know what? You're not the first person to say it.
Yeah,
Everyone's like, nah, not next year. And then, hey, it's back up. They're like, I'm in.
I don't know if I could do the run that much though. Like that 1.6 Ks 8 times. Yeah, I'm not a runner.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to modify that somehow.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Beauty.
Either that or it'll be the longest workout. 'Cause
Longest
I
walk.
it the whole time. Yeah.
I think that's the other beauty of what we can do here. Everything's scalable. We can always find you something.
Yeah, definitely.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Build Insite podcast. That was part 1 with Rusty from Purpose Fitness. Tune in next week for part 2.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. If you want to find out more about Build Insite, head over to the website buildinsite.com.au. Over on the website, you'll find links to previous podcast episodes as well as our YouTube channel, Instagram and Facebook. Hope you've enjoyed the episode. Catch you on the next one.
Well, that's a wrap for another week's episode of the Build Insite podcast. Before we leave, just want to give a huge shout out to all of our sponsors for their ongoing support. Without their help, Build Insite wouldn't be what it is today.
Let's cue the disclaimer. I need to let you know that myself and the Build Insite team are in no way, shape or form qualified to give you personal or specific business advice. We strongly encourage you seek out the use of professionals for products or when you are making personal or business decisions. Everything discussed during the Build Insite podcast is our own and the guest opinion and personal experience and is of a general nature only. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Catch you on the next one.